Warning, warning, two idiots are reading the SCP files over the intercom. Please cover your ears and await further instructions.
Hey guys, welcome back to the thing. I'm Tony, I guess.
Wow, hi Tan. I'm a Darnell, I guess. I had something I was going to say, but I completely forgot what it was. Oh, you know what? I remember.
Yeah.
Why are you sad?
I don't know, I just thought it'd be a funny bit if I pretended to be like really low energy and sad. It's not really.
Oh, that's just me all the time. I should just do that for a bit.
Let's see, it's too late.
Turn off.
Doing it.
Oh, I wouldn't want to bit bite you.
Yeah, what's taking over now? What do you want to say?
Speaking of sad things, I've been watching Breaking Bad. My God, that show is just
so funny.
I mean, I know they came out in 2013, so everyone else has already seen it but me, but holy shit. I just want them to be happy. I just want Walt and Jesse to get a fucking break. Is that so much to ask for? A break? A crumb?
It's the crumb of break.
Jeez, the last episode I watched was like the one where Jesse goes to the meth head's house and the kid, and that just destroyed my soul. That fucking destroyed me. Yeah. Anyway, SCPs, am I right? Haha, quirky.
I love SCPs. Do you want to make a podcast about them?
Yeah, there's one that got popular recently because of some TikTok trend. No, no, there was some cactus one. I don't think we've read it yet. But I can't go anywhere on Twitter without hearing about it now.
Yeah, I should have made that the one we read for today, because I couldn't foresee the TikTok...
No, actually make it the one we read today, because maybe we can ride the popularity and actually give credit to Cactus. Let's do it.
God. Are we really doing this? You're abandoning the episode I came through for today?
Yes, because everything for the sake of hitting 1,000 subscribers.
My God.
It's all for my ideals.
This guy is fucking shameless.
We're calling this episode Bodies in the Water, baby.
Oh my God. Not even a funny.
You know what? Actually, you know what might be funnier and less destructive to your soul? Let's do the episode you have planned, but let's title it Bodies in the Water anyway. It'll be great.
Okay.
Let's do that. Remember, like, when we titled stuff Animal Crossing and JoJo and it shot up in views? It's perfect. It's genius. No one will see it coming. Welcome, guys, to Discovering SCP, where I'm rubbing my hands menacingly as I watch the money roll in.
You're on episode 76. You should expect this sort of conduct by now.
Yeah. But, even if we're not going to read it, I will at the very least say, it's gotten popular recently. I don't know anything about it, but Cactus wrote it. Give Cactus some love.
I love Mark.
I know there's some tension right now in the wiki, because there always is, but give Cactus some love. And hey, maybe we'll get a bunch of new people to the wiki, and then I won't be the newest scrub on the block, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So without further ado, how many SCPs do you have for us today?
We have 2 SCPs.
Ooh.
And here's the first one.
I feel like that's going to be a good balance.
Yeah. SCP-1233, The Lunatic, by Cadaver Commander.
Going back in time. The Lunatic, is this about you?
How dare you.
Alright, and who'd you say it's by someone commanding? I'm sorry?
Cadaver Commander.
Cadaver Commander. Why does that name sound familiar? Have we read one of those before?
Some of those before, yeah.
Nice. Alright, well, Cadaver Commander, let's give a look at your thing.
Let's see if you're worthy of staying on the SCP Wiki. I'm sorry. I actually know Cadaver Commander, so I can't be too mean.
Holy shit.
Let's get into it. SCP-1233, Containment Class Keter, Destruction Class Etchy, Risk Class Danger.
I love that you call it etchy. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be ehi.
I know. I do it on purpose as a joke.
Baka! It's so etchy. Can't believe it.
We have an image here of SCP-1233 circa 1986.
Yeah, it looks like a guy in a spacesuit.
Incredible.
And, yeah, he's got a big backpack. Maybe he's going to Europe or something.
Let's find out more about him. Special containment procedures.
I wouldn't go to Europe without wearing a full containment suit to protect myself from Europeans.
What do you
I'll
mean?
tell you that much. Nothing. Let's keep going.
Expand.
No! Now it's gonna get awkward. Keep going.
It's weird. SCP-1233's anomalous physical properties all but preclude the possibility of primary containment, and as such, secondary containment measures are considered adequate until a feasible method of physical containment is devised. Foundation Satellite Observation Network Argos, which is the Atmospheric Reconnaissance Global Observation System.
It's also a guy from a Greek thing.
Yeah. Is to enter priority to high alert status 3 years and 6 months following the last observed SCP-1233 departure event. When Argos detects the SCP in the upper thermosphere, a contingent from any nearby covert amnestisation and disinformation mobile task force will be dispatched to the population centre closest to the terminus of the SCP's descent trajectory.
Alright.
After the entity's departure from Earth orbit, all appearances of and damages caused by the SCP are to be accounted for with a suitable cover story in conjunction with media blackout, and any civilians having witnessed an overt display of the SCP's anomalous effects are to be amnestised at MTF discretion. Mass amnestisation.
Jesus, this is one of those, big ones.
Mass amnestisation of the affected city may be authorised in the event of unusually prolonged SCP appearances.
See, you always make fun of me for having bad memory, but in SCP world, the fucking whole world gets amnesticized every 2 seconds. So it's is it my fault, really?
I can't believe they're gaslighting the world.
That really is what it is. I know obviously there's no canon and they're meant to be standalone articles, but if you do think of them as a conglomerate, I feel like people get amnesticized every 2 seconds. And it's at that point, should humanity really be surviving if we can't handle knowing about this shit? You know what I mean?
Update, October 5th, 2017. Under no circumstances are Foundation personnel permitted to interact with or engage the SCP in any capacity.
Oh. So I'm gonna guess. I have a hypothesis. Now, I could be bullshitting, because all I know is the special containment procedures. But based on the whole leaving Earth's orbit, blacking out, it travels to space, my guess, and that people need to be amnesticized, my guess is that it, is some sort of repeat or related to the moon landing, and it, keeps doing that, and there's some anomalous twist to it, so they need to make sure no one remembers it. But it, keeps doing a moon landing type deal and then airing it or something on TV.
Interesting.
Because they mentioned media blackout, right? So that's what I'm thinking.
Let's find out more. Description. SCP-1233 is a humanoid entity of unknown composition, which visually resembles an individual wearing an EMU-type spacesuit, which is a extravehicular mobility unit, which is a model worn by NASA and International Space Station crew members, and with an opaque visor and attached extravehicular propulsion jetpack. The equipment worn by the SCP exhibits a number of anomalous properties. The suit itself has shown durability far exceeding that of a standard spacesuit. The SCP has to date withstood small arms fire, anti-tank munitions, landmines, white phosphorus munitions, and in one instance total submersion in magma without sustaining any observable damage or decrease.
Why have we subjected the poor spaceman to all of these things?
We must know his potential.
The research.
Now, use the one to take.
I love how the Foundation... Here's what's funny to me. The Foundation's whole thing is we won't kill the thing to research it, right? But they're willing to fucking dip... Yeah, but they're willing to dip it in magma. You know there's been SCPs where they're testing them and they dip it in a volcano and it does die and they're like, fuck.
As you know, we put in the magma. Maybe it tripped and fell in. Who knows?
Yeah, he fell. It wasn't me, dog.
But his own feet in those cement shoes. I tried to stop him, but
it's just like a group of doctors doing a group of doctors doing the West Side Story snap, walking up to the SCP hey, we'll show you is good.
The kid wanted to see the lizards. Hey, who am I to say no?
You'll be swimming with the fishes if you mess with us.
Hey, don't forget to blink. He loves it.
Oh my god.
New canon. The suit material is also opaque to all attempted forms of penetrative scanning, up to and including ultrasonic, radio, microwave, and X-ray emitters. The entity's jetpack, while essentially designed to be practical only in low-gravity orbital conditions and powered by compressed nitrogen, instead appears to utilise some form of anomalously high-powered rocket propulsion system. This device can sustainably generate thrust capable of rapidly accelerating the entity to a maximum observed velocity of approximately 40,500 km per hour, slightly greater than Earth's surface level escape velocity, and can alter the SCP's trajectory in any direction, speeds and rates of acceleration/deceleration that would be instantly fatal to any human.
So we know it's not a human in there, or if there's anything in there, it might just be the suit, for all we fucking know.
The SCP's physical strength is correspondingly anomalous. It has demonstrated the ability to lift and throw objects weighing up to 65,000 kilograms, and can do so repeatedly without showing any external signs of fatigue in defiance of multiple physical laws.
You know what I'm actually thinking of now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the guy in My Hero Academia who wears a spacesuit and makes black holes?
13.
Yeah, maybe it's just this guy. That's him. That's what I'm guessing.
SCP-12. You get a very eclectic range of discussions on discovering SCP, many times within the same sentence.
Yeah, they all have to do with anime or whatever random thought pops in my head.
Yeah. So SCP-1233 is capable of communicating through a loudspeaker installed in its suit, and does so in a loud, somewhat grandiloquent and declamatory male voice, demonstrating fluency in a number of languages and adjusting its speech to conform with whatever language is most commonly spoken by the surrounding populace. Its statements are generally coherent in structure, but are frequently rambling, oblique, irrelevant to the present situation, or lacking discernible context, just like discovering SCP.
Hey, this guy, I feel a connection to him.
It's me.
It's just like us.
He presses the button on his spacesuit, the helmet lifts up, it's just the Yoko Taro face.
Yeah, warning, warning, I am escaping into, I don't fucking know, space.
The SCP's behaviour is erratic, unpredictable, gregarious, cordial, and somewhat destructive. Though its appearances
it's like a gentleman from the 50s on cocaine.
Though its appearances are typically brief and infrequent, with sightings occurring only once per 4 to 5 years. Holy shit, it really is me.
Yeah. Hey, it's how often you come on the wiki to post.
An SCP-1233 arrival event will begin with the entity falling from an unknown height above the Earth's surface, generally at a terminal velocity comparable to that of a small meteorite or atmospheric re-entry vehicle. The SCP will exhibit the red-orange thermal radiance typical of these objects as a result of atmospheric friction, and as such it's commonly mistaken for a meteorite or shooting star during its descent. It will then crash land, causing a minor localized seismic event and a sizable impact crater. In almost all cases, the SCP has landed a moderate distance away from the upper limits of a population centre, between 7 and 30 kilometres, usually a small to mid-sized town with a population not exceeding 30,000. It will then climb out of the crater and travel towards a nearby town either by flight or by foot. Its route to the population centre is usually not direct. The SCP will frequently stop to engage in various activities, seemingly at random. Examples of observed detour behaviours include inspecting various objects such as farm equipment, buildings and plants, standing still for variable amounts of time, chasing small insects such as grasshoppers and butterflies, attempting to greet, converse with, or interrogate animals such as livestock and birds, pulling up root vegetables or picking fruit from bushes or trees and pressing them forcefully into its closed visor in an apparent attempt to eat them, or marching directly into bodies of water such as ponds or lakes. Among others, normally not resulting in significant property damage.
Alright, I have 2 new theories now. Okay. Mm-hmm. One is that this guy's an alien, right? And he's just... The anomalous is really just that he's like a different creature, right? And he doesn't understand how the world works. My second theory is that he's a Dragon Ball Z character in training, and he's practicing his kick move. Because he needs to at least be able to destroy the planet before he can stand on par with the others.
That's an interesting theory. Let's find out if that is the case. Upon reaching the town limits, the SCP will engage in further activities which, due to its curiosity, appearance, extreme physical strength, and lack of understanding of human societal conventions, will generally result in civil unrest and destruction of public and private property. The following video transcript provides a typical example of SCP interaction with the local populace. Would you like to be the SCP?
I would.
Date: August 9th, 2009. Media origin: security camera footage confiscated from Sam's Sweets, a bakery and cafe located in downtown Saratoga Springs, New York, USA. The SCP opens the front door and enters cafe. Behind the counter is an overweight, bearded man identified as Bob Parsons. Why do you gotta roast him like that?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Identified as Bob Parsons, 32, co-owner of the establishment. His name's not... Is Sam Sweets this... Oh, Sam, what the fuck? What about Bob?
What?
Co-owner. Well, it's co-owner, but it's Sam's name on the fucking shop.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of fucked up.
Sam.
I didn't even think about that.
Parsons raises eyebrows upon the SCP's entry. Holy crap, dude, it's like 90 degrees out there. I get being dedicated to cosplay and all that, but goddamn. The SCP approaches the register and salutes briefly.
Greetings, little girl. I am Moon Champion! Champion of the Moon! defender of space justice and destroyer of evil. I have come once again to your charming world to learn more of your strange culture and to seek aid for my people in their ongoing war against the moon monsters. You appear to possess a vast wealth of the fabled nutrients and moisture for which this world is known throughout the galaxy. Are you the president of this planet?
Pause. Parsons laughs uproariously for approximately a minute, then reaches into a display case below the counter while wiping tears from his eyes. Holy fuck, man. That's the funniest shit I've heard in like at least a year. What's up, Moon Champion? I'm Bob. And you get a free cookie for making me bust a gut so hard I thought I was going to puke up my own spine. Here. Parsons offers the cookie to the SCP. The entity takes it from the shopkeeper.
Ah, one of your human parakeets, I see. Yes, I, Moon Champion, accept this small bird on behalf of the moon, and solemnly pledge to use the energy it provides to advance the cause of righteousness.
It rams the cookie into its unopened visor. The impact instantly destroys the confection and forcefully scatters crumbs in all directions.
Delicious! I thank you, Lord President of Earth, for this generous gift, and may the light of justice forever shine upon your royal visage.
The baker laughs again and begins eating a cookie of his own. Nah, it's cool, Moon bro, I'll just clean that up later, don't worry about it or anything. So there's monsters, huh? On the moon? And you fight them?
Your understanding of the situation is flawless, my lord. Yes, the dreaded moon monsters have plagued and besieged my people for countless millennia. They are very terrible. Merely attempting to describe them to you would cause your human organs to shrivel in horror, and it is my sacred duty as Moon Champion to meet these nightmarish beasts in combat and lead the moon people in the defense of their imperiled homeland, the majestic and magnificent Moon Kingdom.
Parsons continues eating his cookie and nods. Oh, so you're like one of those alien dudes, the king or something?
No, I am not one of the moon people. I am Moon Champion. I will continue to serve the moon people and wage glorious war against their enemies until my debt to the Moon King is repaid. But the Moon Kingdom is a land of peace and enlightenment, the moon people having abandoned the pettiness of violence and bloodshed eons ago. They are ill-prepared for the sudden advent of such a formidable foe, and the conflict goes poorly despite the valiant efforts of me, Moon Champion! And so, I have come once more to Earth, our closest neighbor, to seek whatever assistance lies within your damp, meaty hearts.
I am once again seeking your assistance for the Moon Kingdom. Throughout this monologue, the SCP's right arm has risen into the air gradually until its hand is outstretched above its head. Parsons points at it.
Oh my god, I was actually doing that while I was doing the speech based.
Do you have a question?
Yes! Several! To start, are these puppies you have capable of withstanding the vacuum of space without additional shielding? I would like to befriend one and name her Moon Pup and take her with me on space adventures.
Your arm, dude. The SCP pauses, then turns its head to look at its arm.
Ah, yes, it has become buoyant, an aspect of your mighty balloons, another common side effect of your Earth atmosphere, similar to electricity and swarms of locusts. Either that, or there are laser beasts within this quadrant. I have studied the Earth quite extensively. Its phenomena are disgusting and incredible.
Huh.
Now, Lord President Mayor of Earth, will you answer the Moon King's call and assist us in our desperate battle against the moon monsters? Time is of the essence. Time waits for no Moon Champion! I have asked it nicely. It did not listen.
So, like, as you can see, Moon Dude, as president, I have a responsibility. This supply depot here is the only source of food for my people, and I gotta, like, stay here. Otherwise, there'll be a famine, you know how it is. But I've ordered the citizens to lend a helping hand to anyone who asks, and, oh, look, right outside, there's some. The SCP turns to look out the glass door, where there are passerbys visible.
Yes, of course! You have been most voluptuous, my liege! Farewell, glorious and corpulent President. May you and your people remain moist and rubbery. Moon Champion blasts off on wings of justice!
The SCP salutes once more, turns about and marches forward, crashing directly through a section of concrete wall less than 10 feet from the establishment entrance.
Bah!
Wow. Other observed behaviours have included...
Oh.
So please go ahead.
No, go.
Well, I'm going to be going for a while, so you better say you think.
Oh, do you want me to read for a little bit? Okay.
Oh, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Other observed behaviors have included wandering into traffic, which, due to its anomalous properties, has resulted in lethal collisions, breaking through glass storefronts to handle or inspect wares on display, challenging a fire hydrant to single combat, which it then destroyed via punching, stealing and gathering unattended bicycles, forming a pile of hundreds in the center of a public park, stacking parked cars on top of one another, collecting as many dogs as possible, and attempting to use them as currency to purchase more dogs, and more. 1233's exploits invariably result in the local authorities being summoned by the citizenry. However, attempts by police to impede, detain, or arrest 1233 are entirely ineffective and are ignored by the entirety in the majority of cases. To date, 1233 has not caused overt...
Ignored by the entity.
What? Are ignored by the entity, in the majority of cases. To date, 1233 has not caused overt and deliberate harm to any civilian, though casualties and fatalities have occurred as a result of its unpredictable behavior and physical properties. After spending a variable amount of time, shortest observed thus far approximately 30 minutes, longest 7 hours, within a given municipality, 1233 will abruptly activate its jetpack and ascend directly upward, reaching escape velocity and exiting Earth's atmosphere with greater speed than any non-anomalous vehicle on record. Ground-based and orbital telescope observation of recent 1233 departures have shown that its general outbound trajectory is consistent during each event. SCP-1233 exits Earth orbit and maintains velocity while adjusting course directly toward the moon. At its average speed of roughly 40,500 km per hour, the entity enters lunar orbit within approximately 9 hours. It will overshoot slightly and adjust course, passing out of view and presumably either demanifesting somehow or landing on the far side of the moon. None of SCP-1233's claims regarding the moon have been successfully verified. Since 1233's initial appearance on February 6, 1986, Foundation research divisions have maintained constant surveillance of the moon in an attempt to acquire concrete proof of its statements. No evidence indicating the existence of a moon kingdom, moon people, moon monsters, or any other moon-based extranormal objects or entities mentioned by 1233 has ever been found. I like that they say mentioned by 1233 because that doesn't fuck over any other anomalies on the moon.
It implies there are many others, but just not, there's no moon kingdom, though.
Yeah. Well, it'd be crazy if there was a moon kingdom, but there is a giant rabbit that will eat you. Terrestrial research personnel have maintained continual contact with Lunar Area 32 Provisional Research Station supervisors concerning all aspects of 1233 since its initial registry, hypothesizing that Area 32's powerful and comprehensive Sentinel array would be capable of confirming or refuting 1233's allegations with ease. Not only have lunar-based personnel consistently failed to uncover any indication that 1233's assertions are authentic in any way, but no anomaly or object matching 1233's descriptions has ever been recorded by Sentinel's hundreds of detectors, despite the existence of a multitude of Earth-based telescopic video recordings, which clearly show 1233 entering the inner bound of Sentinel's optimal sensor range and flying directly over Lunar Area 32. Lunar personnel were only made aware of the entity's existence in the SCP registry upon Terrestrial Command's request that they transmit all data concerning 1233's first appearance to Earth for storage and analysis, 3 hours following the entity's disappearance. No such data existed. No definitive explanation for this observational discrepancy has been found. That's weird. Popcorn.
Addendum-01. During the SCP's most recent arrival event on October 5th, 2017, SCP-1233 addressed a male civilian, later identified by recovered security camera footage as Harry Gonsall, 27, in downtown Hereford, England. Why don't you maybe read this bit? It's got England in it.
What am I... sorry, I got confused. Where am I at?
We're downtown Hereford, England. Why did you pick this bit for me to read? Because it's England?
No, because I'm tired. I just want you to read.
What are you trying to insinuate?
I'm like half dead from heat exhaustion, and Tan's here fucking with my mind on a whole nother level.
Approach God. If you're not ready for the grill, don't get in the oven. What the fuck did I just say?
Nice.
SCP-1233 approached Godzall and asked him if he'd be willing to join the fight against the moon monsters. As opposed to each observed iteration of this interaction thus far, in which a civilian petitioned by the SCP either disregards the question or answers in the negative, Godzall sardonically replied, "Oh, absolutely, you fucking nutter. I'm ready to go right now, got my toothbrush and everything. Let's fly, spaceman."
Oh, it's Tanhoney.
This is what became of me. SCP-1233 responded, "At last, a brave warrior, hiding in plain sight amidst these pastoral and bucolic humans. Let us away, firm meat fellow, and earn the glory of heroes. This day you brush your tooths among the stars. We fly! The entity lurched forward and embraced Gonzol, then activated its jetpack. The resultant sonic boom shattered every item of glass within a 300-metre radius as the SCP accelerated to a projected velocity of 25,000 km per hour within approximately 4 seconds, ascending into low orbit with Gonzol in tow.
He definitely died in space.
Yeah. Due to the unexpected timing of this event, observational satellites were unable to properly focus upon the SCP during the early stage of its exit trajectory. As such, Gonzol's presence and status were unable to be visually confirmed. After the anesthetisation of all Hereford citizens witnessing this incident, Gonzol was officially declared missing, then pronounced dead 3 months later. The condition and whereabouts of his remains are currently unknown. So I imagine there's
interesting to note that the date that... Yeah, the date that this happened is the same date it was updated that you're not to interact with the entity anymore. If you notice at the top, update October 5th, 2017. So clearly they're afraid of getting whisked off to space forever. Although you would think, knowing the Foundation, they'd make a D-Class do it and put a GoPro on his head or some shit.
It wouldn't last. It wouldn't...
But yeah, that was a cute article. I liked it. It was fun. It was quirky. I don't know if I can really count it as my guess being right, since, you could say it's an alien, but it's not really confirmed what the fuck is going on with it. I'm trying to log in right now so I can upvote it, but you know the fucking wiki. There we go. I'm going to give it an upvote. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I really liked it. I don't think it's like a perfect article. I'm giving it like a 7 out of 10 for what it is as an article, but I'm giving it all 3 bonus stars because I really enjoyed it.
There are just like equations fun. All over my vision right now.
Yeah. Cadaver Commander, good job. Tan, how did you feel about it?
I like it. It's a good one. It's a good character. Cadaver Commander does really good with character writing, I think.
Yeah, I hope Moon Champion comes back. I'd really love to read a tale about him and Godzall, like fighting the moon monsters. My idea, here's a theory. What if, because they say he disappears after he goes around like the back of the moon, right? Here's a theory for you. He is from a moon, and he is fighting monsters, but it's not Earth's moon. It's one of, like, another planet's moons.
Right, maybe. Europa.
Think about it.
I am Europa champion.
Moon champion. I like him. I hope he comes back. Alright, hit me with your second article.
So we're going back into the future now. SCP-4233. This one's called
Back to the Future.
Nice. The Dreadnought is by Cadaver Commander.
Oh, is this the Cadaver Commander episode?
Yeah.
That is definitely a Bioshock cosplay used for the image. There's no way it's not.
You see, when they made the suits in Bioshock, those were based off things. So, back in history, when people had to go underwater, they actually used
I know what a diving helmet is, but that's not what a diving helmet looked like to my knowledge.
But it doesn't even look like a Big Daddy. Big Daddy's got like right in the middle of the chest, usually.
Yeah, but that's definitely not here. Watch. I'm going to search Google for the image. And, oh, look, Bioshock. Bioshock official amino. Oh, interesting. It's all over Bioshock. Yeah, because if you look up actual... I only know this because I've made so many old-timey aquatic characters that used old diving suits that I know what they look like, and it doesn't look anything like that. Think about it. How would you fucking see with that thing on? It's got a million dials on the head.
To make you see better. It's like a spider.
No, you're a fool. You're a fool and you got owned.
No.
Oh.
Hold on a second.
Wait. This is actually a newer one. It was made in 2019.
Yeah. Hold on one second.
What? It's not my fault you got owned. We got an SCP to read, man.
What's the fucking image source?
Go right-click it, go to search Google for image. You can see it yourself. Only Bioshock pops up. Look up old-time diving suit. You'll see what they look like. It's not my fault.
No.
You good?
No. This. No.
Yes.
Let's read the.
Okay, let me look up. No, old time diving suit because you don't know what they look like. It's okay. I'll give you a picture. This is what an old timey diving suit looked like. Tan. Save image.
Oh, what's this? Oh,
what?
How strange. What is this?
What?
Could this be... this must be Bioshock cosplay. Look, I've just found this image. This is completely incomprehensible to people listening to.
No, this is what a diving suit looks like. Here, I'm gonna right-click. I'm gonna Google search this. Search Google for image. Let's see. This is the Cité de l'Arc... What the fuck? I can't read this. Some French thing.
That's strange. I didn't think Bioshock was French.
No. I'm checking this.
Look, it looks... The Big Daddy looks completely different. Look at the Big Daddy.
I know what a Big Daddy looks like, you fucking nut. No, it doesn't! It looks the same!
It's not! He's like a little gnome man!
Yeah! His body type's different, the helmet's the same!
Why would you make the cosplay look different then?
I don't know, man. I'm checking this out. I know you guys were here for SCPs, but now you just have to hear us argue about this image.
This is what breaks us up, finally.
Yeah, of all the things. History of Diving, Part 4. I'm looking through this.
What the fuck are you looking at the history of diving?
Yeah, this is important, alright? Fuck SCPs for a second. Okay. Atmospheric diving suit. I need to find a good resource. Because all of these are just the image. I need, like, a resource that takes me to what it is. Alright, let's take a look. I'm on some French museum site right now. It's not giving me a link to what I need, though. Everybody knows that... Okay, what's this? This is a Twitter post. Nope, Bioshock. No, I'm telling you right now.
Well,
yes, it is.
Let's forget about it. Obviously, you can't handle incorrect information, so I don't want to...
Okay, here we go. Atmospheric diving suit by the Carmagnol brothers in 1882. Now at the Musée National de la Marine, Paris. Alright, so I guess you were right.
Thank you.
My bad.
Say it a couple more times, please. We need to get these sound
I guess you were right. We had to really dig for it. But in my defense, when I Google reversed image searched this SCP's photo, all that came up was Bioshock.
Arrogance.
You could have done the same.
Arrogance.
You had to do some extended research.
Vainglory, even. That's
here. Is there like credits for where the
two of the 9 deadly sins?
All right. You know what? I'm killing you now.
Okay, let's read the.
Let's just read the fucking
Item number SCP-4233. Containment class Keter. Destruction class Risk class Caution. Special containment procedures. The SCP-4... Oh, there's an image on this. We didn't actually mention it. This is some sort of diving suit. The SCP-4233 is an anomalous procedures. All preclude the possibility of primary containment, and as such, secondary containment measures are considered adequate until a feasible method...
That's interesting, because that's the same shit that happened with Moon Champion. Is this like a theme of his... I don't know. Is this a theme of Cadaver Commander's SCPs that they all are like uncontainable?
Well, some of them are like that sort of theme. All appearances of the SCP are to be accounted for with a suitable cover story in conjunction with media blackout. And any civilians have witnessed an overt display of the SCP's anomalous effects, we deem exercise at NTF discretion.
So far, this seems very similar.
Foundation Listening Network Panopticon is reminded to alert Foundation Executive Command of the credible appearance of any and all Leviathans and NTF Sigma 58 bottom feeders. So I don't think we've actually seen an NTF before. That's Nautical Task Force.
Yeah, what's an NTF?
Nautical Task Force.
Oh.
Stands in order to track the SCP's trajectory and establish radio contact as often as possible to aid in the discovery of any such seagoing bioforms. So may I pass this over to my co-host for a bit of the description?
Sure. I haven't suffered enough. Allow me to read this.
Yeah, the thing wrong with the Bioshock Infinite suit or whatever. I don't know what you're talking about. Isn't it like a scam game?
Shut up. Description. SCP-4233 is an amphibious humanoid entity of unknown origin and composition that exhibits potent anomalous properties and operates under an unclear agenda. SCP-4233 physically resembles a human in a late 19th century diving suit, with a rigid copper helmet with glass viewing window and weighted boots. However, SCP-4233's body plan is disproportionate and larger overall than that of a baseline human. The entity stands at approximately 2.5 meters when fully upright, with an exaggerated torso supporting thick, oversized arms, resulting in a somewhat simian appearance. Is this going to be like one giant, like, aqua monkeys joke? Like, do you remember sea monkeys or aqua monkeys, the things you put in the water?
Yeah, they were real.
Yeah. Is it going to be one of these?
I had this variant of sea monkeys where it's like there's two species, and it's like, oh, don't bring them together because they'll kill each other, but you can lift up the area if you need to. I mean, I don't think that was the intention, but that's how it came across to me.
That's so funny. Each time it has appeared, 4233 has carried a large stockless anchor, approximately 1.8 meters in length and weighing an estimated 550 kilograms. Nautilus from League of Legends? This anchor is thoroughly corroded and encrusted with barnacles and other sessile sea life, consistent with roughly 75 years of continuous exposure to a marine environment. It bears this item on its right shoulder, and to date has not been observed to use this object for any discernible purpose. 4233's primary anomalous properties lie in its physical and mechanical attributes. Its suit is opaque to all known forms of penetrative electromagnetic imaging, and has thus far proven to be entirely impervious to damage. The extent of its... This seems very similar to the other one so far. Big suit guy... can't be hurt, super strong. I wonder if is this going to be like a... Is that the theme of that? Is this like a universe you're introducing me to?
You can say.
We've had a space guy, now we've had a deep sea guy. Is there going to be like one for each area we haven't fully explored yet? There'll be one for fucking Mariana Trench guy. He's just this guy's cousin. The extent of its Wait, fuck, I lost my place. Its suit is opaque to all known forms of penetrative electromagnetic imaging, and has thus far proven to be entirely impervious to damage, so this has to be related to Moon Champion. They have too many similar things going on. The extent of its durability and physical strength have proven difficult to quantify. Across its many appearances since its first in 1953, SCP-4233 has accepted direct strikes from high-explosive anti-tank munitions, surface-to-surface missile systems, and a full broadside shore bombardment from an Iowa-class battleship without suffering any noticeable damage or impaired movement. It has disregarded any and all attempts at physical containment, typically by walking directly through any barricades or impediments placed in its path, and ignoring the efforts of intercepting strike teams attempting to prevent or slow its advance. The entity's appearances are erratic and follow no observable pattern, the shortest recorded time between emergence events being approximately 45 days, the longest 7 years and 4 months, but its behavior is consistent and predictable. SCP-4233 emergence events begin with the entity walking out of the sea and onto a beach or stretch of coastline, chosen apparently at random and with no regard for any civilian presence. 4233 has to date arrived on the coasts of California, Virginia, Scotland, Nova Scotia, Greenland, Thailand, Australia, Chile, Japan, Namibia, Oman, and the Kamchatka Peninsula, among others. Once on land, 4233 will continue walking at a gradual pace, slightly less than 5 kilometers per hour, in a straight line, only altering its trajectory to avoid injuring civilians, animals, and large plants such as trees. It has not been seen to stop or change pace at any point, and will often simply walk through and subsequently destroy objects in its way, such as fallen logs, unattended vehicles, boulders, and abandoned buildings. It will continue on its set path and walk forward until it reaches the ocean, occasionally crossing entire continents over a period of months in order to do so. Upon reaching the coast, it will stop, set down its anchor, clap its hands together once, replace its anchor?
Yeah, it puts it down and then picks it back up.
Oh, just like repicks it. I thought it meant like it was pulling a new one out of thin air. Then continue, walking into the sea until it disappears from view. To date, 4233's path has not crossed any major population centers. It has traveled within 5 kilometers of small villages or towns, with populations of 1,500 or less, on only 3 occasions, in 1964, 1972, and 1998, but did not enter the town's limits, nor did it interact with any investigating civilians or law enforcement personnel in any way. It is currently unclear whether this is due to coincidence or deliberate planning on the SCP's part. It is uncertain whether SCP-4233 is sapient, and its motivations, if it possesses any, are presently unknown. That's crossed out, and it says, see subsequent addendum. Alright, popcorn.
Right. So I see it's an interview log. Can I be the SCP this time? I want to get the Oscar as well.
For sure.
Addendum
you deserve it.
On December 1st, 2017, as the SCP approached the eastern coast of Baffin Island, operatives from Naval Task Force Sigma-458 bottom feeders tracking the SCP began to receive a low-fidelity radio transmission of a deep... Sorry?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say the internet ruined me because anytime I see the word Sigma now, I just think of Sigma male.
Transmission of a deep male voice humming the tune of the traditional sea chanty, What Shall We Do With a Drunken Sailor? Triangulation
What shall we do with a drunken sailor?
Quickly confirmed that the SCP was the source of this transmission. This is the first known instance of the SCP producing electromagnetic signals of any kind, and NTF Sigma-58 were able to subsequently isolate the SCP's transmission frequency in an authorized attempt to establish contact with the entity. The resulting communication transcript follows below. Date.
Alright, do you want me to do the parentheses this time, or do you want to do those too? Yeah, no problem.
Date, 1st of December 2017. Location approximately 1 kilometre from eastern shoreline of Baffin Island, Canada. Interview conducted from an NTF Sigma-58 in pursuit of reconnaissance truck at a distance of 3 kilometres from the SCP.
SCP-4233's broadcast signal is isolated with stability, and the entity's humming is clearly heard, although the signal is relatively low quality and tinny. NTF Sigma-58 Operative Sergeant Kendra Hill initiates verbal contact upon receiving clearance from Sigma-58 Tactical Command. Testing! 1-2! This is Sergeant Kendra Hill of Foundation Task Force Sigma-58, hailing undesignated entity transmitting on this frequency. Is this channel receiving? The humming stops. There is a moment of silence interspersed with slight static, which clears. SCP-4233 responds in English.
New friends in the air today. I receive you, Miss Hill, as I receive your superiors. It is a good day for a swim, I think.
4233's speech is interspersed throughout with the sound of bubbling liquid. Who are you? Laughter.
Inquisitive, but that answer is long. You've caught me with little time to spare. Words and boxes are your great loves, and all love should be respected. But words wash away from me, and I am my own box, such as it can be in time and tide.
This is, honestly, I love this guy. He's fucking awesome. He's so base. He's like, I know you guys like being nerds and shit, but I'm too busy. I simply must swim. What are you?
Why is she so angry?
I don't know. Good point. What are you?
Peace and weight, part and parcel. I am my own slow way in water and iron. I am the crushing wave. I am the calm of the deep and the great pressure upon the bones of evil. No danger to you, unless you think to threaten your own providence alike.
The following question from Sergeant Hill is a deviation from the standardized list of questions provided to personnel in the event of an encounter with an anomalous sentient entity. Is it really? Because I feel like this next question has been asked anytime there's a traveling SCP. Where are you going?
To walk along the bottom and look up through the waves. I find that my vision is best through all the salt. But the wind and the grass have their own charms. When most of your life is darkness and mud, a flower is a genuine treasure. The depths have no eyes for art. Kelp is not as interesting as it may seem.
See, I know this is just a small bit of characterization. I'm not going to pretend it's like some grand writing element, but I think it's a really neat touch because, people often talk about how the sea is very pretty, which it is. The ocean's got a lot of pretty stuff to it. But I imagine when that's your whole life, you would think the surface is super pretty, which, it also is. So I kind of like that, that's sort of his opinion on things, because I feel like that would be, if you lived your whole life underwater, you'd be like, I like being up on land. And of course, us who are mostly on land are like, wow, underwater's so pretty. Just a small thing. I really like that. It's like, have you ever seen Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yeah.
There's like a small line from this like assassin murderer guy who's like, I like orange juice or some shit. Or he wants orange juice instead of alcohol. And like, it's just little details like that, I admire them. It's good. Sergeant Hill is admonished for deviating from standardized conduct protocol, but permitted to continue her line of questioning. Is there something you're looking for?
There is, my brother. His signal is hard to find, so I must wander for a good spot so he can hear me.
Oh, his brother's totally Moon Champion. Who's your brother?
You have written of him in your lightning books. He appears in a suit like the mine, though his is white and made for the void, not the water. My elder brother, the champion of the moon. He is very swift in the sky and very strong and often very silly. But he has been very, very silly lately. I wish to speak with him. He does not know I'm calling him, I think. He has a hard time paying attention to things.
Wow, it's just like me. Why is it so important that you speak with him?
I wish to know if his stories are true, or if he's playing another of his games. If true, I wish to help him. If not, I will ask him for his help instead.
What do you need help with?
All life came from the sea, Miss Hill. Other things came from it too, and I must keep them from leaving. It would be very terrible if they did. I fight well at the bottom. My steel sings heavy death upon these creatures. But times change. They change very quickly, and though I am strong, I am slow. My brother moves with the speed of a thunderbolt, and strikes like the justice he so loves. He would be a great help, and sometimes his jokes are funny. Funnier than mine, at the least.
I love this because he actually does kind of feel like an older brother, you know? And I feel like his claim of like, with all we know about, like, you know, the 3000, all the other shit just in the deep sea, I feel like his story's a lot more believable than the moon monsters, you know? Is there any way we can help? You don't have to do all this alone. We're strong in our own way, you know? Laughter.
Your spirit is as strong as your great ancestors. But though you may wish to stop me, this is where my destiny flows. I will fight on and win the war in the depths. My great weight will crush the floor. The waters will be the waters will be still at last, and all peoples above will breathe easy, as I cannot. For now, I descend alone.
I love how you had so much gravitas, and then it all shattered when you said the waiters.
They're just down there.
SCP-4233 has reached the shoreline. Sigma-58 cameras observe the entity stop and place its anchor into the shallow water at its side. I don't understand. Is going alone really necessary? Do you have to? You could just give us the information.
We all must flow through our ways and bear our own burdens. You are yours, I am mine. Lay your noble guns to rest and quiet your battle songs. Turn from the shore and stand in the warmth of the great sun. You will be safe. Though they mass in churning droves, no foul leviathan shall draw breath beneath the weight of my mighty anchor. For I am...
SCP-4233 claps its hands together, producing a ringing sound measured at 122 decibels. A massive wave of seawater causes sea levels within 5 kilometers of SCP-4233 to rise by approximately 1.2 meters. The origin point of this wave is unknown.
Sea Champion!
Wait, what exactly... 4233 advances into the water and radio contact is lost. I like Sea Champion more than Moon Champion. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to retroactively up Moon Champion and Sea Champion and put them both at 11 out of 10.
Wow.
Instead of 10 out of 10. Because I think they actually are stronger together. Kind of like the two Among Us SCPs. How the first one's kind of meh, but the second one makes it really good. I think these two really depend on each other, and it kind of, once you have that sort of information built between the two of them, it adds a lot to the dynamic. Like, is this guy also silly? Does he have a real problem and his brother wants to prove he's got his own thing to do? Like, what exactly is the relationship? What are they actually doing? How much is real? How much is games? It kind of gets you a lot more invested in what's going on with them, especially because they act so differently. Like, it's funny, they basically have the same story, but just by the way that 4233 holds himself, you're more inclined to trust him than fucking Moon Champion. I think it also helps, to be fair, in Moon Champion's article, they specify he does all these wonky things that don't make sense, but this guy seems to act with common sense and, like, recognize things. You know what I mean? Like flowers and whatnot.
Right.
So my guess is, you know, he's been on land before, he knows how the world works, but he mentioned his brother used to be with him, so I'm guessing Moon Champion used to only be in the sea, and then he went to space, right? And he comes down every now and then, so he doesn't know how, like, land and the Earth works compared to this brother. It's just, like, little details like that, I don't know, that you can infer. Make me really enjoy it.
Right. I do like them in both as well. It's like...
so, good articles.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying? What's it like?
I was starting a sentence, I had no idea how that sentence was going to end, and it just didn't.
It's my entire life, King. That was good. Are we going to see more of this in the future, or are you going to take us in a different direction next week? And you know what? It's not even technically that misleading to call it bodies in the water, because there is a body.
Hey!
So it all,
what can I say?
It all works out. We're gonna make $1 million! Alright, let me get open the thing for the
Hey,
comment
1,000 subs, baby, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do, am I right? People are either gonna think this is quirky and funny, or they're gonna be like, I cannot believe Discovering SCP took advantage of the drama going on right now in the community.
Here's what's going on with Discovering SCP. Open thread.
Yeah, we're ready for the 12-tweet Twitter thread about how we should be cancelled. Okay. Wow, holy shit, we have a lot of comments this week. Jesus.
I know, I wish they'd stop. I'm kidding, I'm joking.
No, I love the comments, there's just a lot. I'll try to read them all, but if some of you don't get in because it's too long...
Oh, we need a password as well. We need a password for this episode.
Oh, fuck. Our password this week is Bodies in the Water.
By DJ Cactus.
Yes, you have to include the whole sentence.
Yeah.
Bodies in the Water by DJ Cactus.
If you don't include the by DJ Cactus, you're part of the fucking problem.
Yeah, you are, and you're cringe, so sorry.
I'm cringing at this viewer. I'm pointing at one right now. Can you see, Darnell?
Yeah, I can see. So, first comment up is from War Eagle 21 is, "Hello, Discovering Daedal, Angel Dust Euphoria, and Negligent Fathers at Foundation. SCPs by Daedal grow on me. Funny side of Foundation, good for business. Sorry, hamster broke shift key. Kernunos, is this password a hint for future episode featuring it?" Wasn't
what on
Kernunos
earth are you
mentioned?
talking about? Yes, the password.
Yeah, but it doesn't have something to do with an SCP?
It might.
Okay, I feel like I saw it. Maybe it was on Twitter I saw it. I saw something with that word. Chaos Corvid said, "I made a warship in CDE, space game, while listening to this podcast, but firing all the guns at once drops my FPS to 1. Can Dado fix?" I don't know.
It's meant to do that.
Probably. Yeah. Dado design it that way. JTKC says, "I love Dado. He is a good friend. Cool episode, guys, and hopefully congrats on 1K subs. We're almost there. Close enough. It's Singapore's Independence Day this week, so I got some time off. Epic Singapore fact. We are one of the few countries who were forced to declare independence after we got kicked out of Malaysia. Judging by the fact that Singapore's GDP per capita is 6 times of Malaysia, I'd say it worked out. I ran out of recommendations, so I guess finish the Antimemetics 55555. Have a good one, guys. Also, I died a bit inside when Anomalous put the sad face after I beat his comment last week. Oh. No.
No.
Anomalous, you're always number 1 in our eyes. Listen, Anomalous, I'm taking a moment just so you know that we love you and we care about you, and you're always number 1 in my heart, alright? Even more than Tan. Screw Tan. I will abandon Tan in a heartbeat. I will shove him down a volcano. I will dip him in magma for you, if you ask me to, okay? Sorry, Tan, were you saying something?
No, I just said,
Indeed. Steve-O-esque says, "I still haven't played any of the Red Dead games, so my comment being read that way is funny." I haven't either. I know Tan's really into them, though. Right? Or am I making that up? I thought you were into them.
I'm not like a fanboy. I just like.
Well, there was like a couple weeks where you just kept doing the Dutch thing, so I just assumed you were pretty into them.
That's just for his funny voice.
You were like, "Dutch, I got a plan. I got a plan."
Okay, first off, if I'm talking to Dutch, I'm not doing the Dutch voice.
Sorry, it's Arthur. It was Arthur. I have a plan. It's Arthur. Like, Arthur, I have a plan. Arthur. He did that for like 2 weeks straight.
Well, we'll take the money and go to paradise.
Comedy Man Kelp says, "Hello, this is Dado. Good friend Commissary Man Kelp was very busy, so he asked Dado to comment on new podcast for him. Dado already tried comment on Kelp accounting twice, but it no work. Dado think government is silence. Dado like in book 1984 by Greg Orwell."
What in God's fuck are you talking about?
Brandon Hamilton said, "Babe, shut up, I'm logging into the Royal Road." Which is a perfect follow-up. Based. Avsbest says, I think they're talking about... Okay, so I'm going to read these comments in order. So first is Chris Carlson's. He wrote 2 questions. Why do they keep the D-Class alive? Tanhoney?
I don't know. Well, it's wasteful.
This is the foundation that gave babies to 682 in certain canons, and is honestly less ethical to keep them alive. And do you not remember in the 682 test they gave like children to the lizard to some doctor told them to? They were like 6 and 8.
Old enough to die.
Wow. And what the hell does this monster, the doctor, do to his kid where submitting another person to actual torture is preferable to the punishment of your own parent? Ethics Committee, get them! And listen, you guys need to do an Ethics Committee episode. We have. With the leader of the Ethics Committee on the podcast, Dr. Sumerian. Well, Tan doesn't want to, is what he told me.
I never said that. He's much too big. We're a little crumb. Don't try and start drama.
I'm not trying to start drama. Avsbest then said, "I absolutely have to agree with Chris Carlson.
You don't.
At least
you can make
one
your own
Ethics
decisions.
Committee episode would have to include Ethics Committee orientation as well as Deadman. Maybe with Sumerian as guest would be great." I don't know. We'll see. But I would not get your hopes up. A bush from the island of Borneo says, as much as I like Dado, a lot of their articles feel a little repetitive sometimes. It usually starts with there's someone with a problem, and Dado misinterprets it, and bad stuff happens. That being said, 4292 is probably one of my favorite Dado articles, since the author has a video of himself pretending to be Dado. Funniest shit I've seen.
And
as for recommendations...
And then he turns the guy into a little mister. Funniest shit I've ever seen.
As for recommendations, you should either read about the Three Moons Initiative GOI or SCP-5001.
You mean the
Banker
second place?
Paul...
Mr. Second Place? That's what 5001 is.
Oh.
That's what I call it.
Wow! I'll be honest, I don't think 5,000 was good enough to win the 5,000 contest.
I'll be honest. Where's your entry? Where's your entry? How many uploads did you get?
I didn't make one, but I'm just saying, it just kind of feels like you preyed a lot on early wiki popularity.
That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird that you didn't have an entry. What's going on? That's kind of strange.
Alright, here's my 5,000 entry, the mystery of who killed Tan.
Oh, they couldn't hear it. I guess it wasn't that good. I'll be nice. 1 out of 10.
Banker Paul says, this week's password is, Tane didn't bring up the Irish Cream Man.
That's not the password. And you know that isn't the password.
Adriana Renivo says, anomalous writer appreciation comment. Thank you. Thank you.
That's not you.
Tan, why don't you say something nice to anomalous writer?
Thank you. I do say things nice to anomalous writer. Thank you so much. We appreciate all your hard work. And why don't you just plug all your stuff again? Just do it again.
Yeah, just one of those really quick scroll bys.
This is the equivalent of a sponsor we have at this point.
Yeah, this is our brand deal with Anomalous Writer. Scythalia says...
Hold on, that sounds like a special sponsor. These next 60 seconds, Anomalous, you can put in whatever you want.
Yeah, alright, so cut the video right here, Anomalous. Don't cut the rest of it off, but insert up to 60 seconds worth of anomalous content.
Please consider as well,
right
they
here.
will also be funnier if you don't do it and just leave us looking weird.
Just consider that's
Tanhoney's
greed speaking.
A sneak on the sound design for upcoming 6004 video.
Scythalia says, SCP-4654, you fly so high you go to heaven. What?
Exactly. I don't know what it's
Luke Malone, Darnell, I want shorter SCPs. Also Darnell, there's not enough plot in these small SCPs. In all seriousness, love the episode. Thanks,
This is
Luke
the guy
Malone.
who didn't get the factory, so you can only expect so much from him.
Oh yeah, I didn't get the brilliance of toy guns that shot real bullets. How could I not understand that? I'm just an idiot. I'm just a fucking rat bastard who hates SCP. I hate SCP! Ugh, if only I understood it. I know. Alright. Alloy says, I don't really comment that much, but since you guys have finally started reading Series 6, you should do SCP-5866. It's a fun article. Also, can't wait for the 9-hour Ouroboros cycle full reading special podcast. Woo! That's never happening. I will shoot myself before I do that.
If it happens, it will not take place in that format.
You know what we'll do? We'll record... actually, the funniest way to do it, I mean, actually it would only be funny to us. It would not be funny to any viewer. And it would come across as scummy. But you know how we usually do these long episodes? What if for this really long SCP we broke the episodes to like 15 minutes? You have to watch like 80 fucking episodes to get the whole thing! Maximum ad revenue. Alright, Daniel Zackheim says, good episode as always. Will you ever consider having other YouTubers on the podcast, such as The Vulcan or SCP Illustrated?
No,
I'm hella down. I'm not fucking big enough to get a hold of them, and Tanhoney's too shy to do so. But we have had Thesherm on. If you guys know Thesherm, Site42, he has a YouTube, and he's also got a TikTok that's pretty popular. And I believe he's working on some like short films and SCP-related stuff, right?
Hey guys, if you want to see Vulcan on the podcast, go to him on Twitter and tell him you want to see a collab with Discovered SCP. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't.
I mean, do it, but don't do it in an obnoxious, spammy way that will make us look bad. Just be like,
it's like Vulcan comes to Brazil.
Yeah, if he ever is like, I'm looking for people to collab with, then be like, discovering SCP would be cool, but don't, like, at him and be like, OMG, go on discovering SCP now! Actually, we did have... So, funny story about Vulgan. When we first started this channel, I didn't know anything about SCP. I didn't know any creators or whatever. So, we were doing, like, a stream, I think, and Vulgan showed up, and I didn't know who he was, but he had a check mark. So, I was like, who's Vulgan? And all he said was, your mic is shit, Darnell, and then he left. So I might have burnt the bridge. Yeah, so I might have burnt the bridge before it happened due to ignorance, but we'll see how it goes.
He hates Star.
If you're out there, Vulgan, I apologize for not knowing who you are. I know now that you are a big SCP guy. Good Day says, Dado good capitalist. Okay, no more Dado fucking roleplay comments. I hate all of you who did this now. Dado good capitalist man, make many fine art. Is Dado cool yet? Dado is under very strict contact to say, Prize Peace Kernunos, world's second best capital man. May he forever bring darkness over Teen Holy Towers. KK, thank you, have a good day. What's he talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Rather announces Dado episode, let's go! Woo! Woo! Manly Fish says, I really like the first Dark Souls because of the pacing throughout the game. Many areas are memorable and fun. Lost Izalith and Tomb of Giants are fucking dog shit, but so are Shrine of Amana and Black Gulch. Every game has crappy areas in them. Dark Souls 3 was great and at least finished upon release. More than I can say for anything from EA or Activision.
True.
Well, thank you for your enlightened video gaming opinion. I appreciate it. Anir Kaboosh says, 10 comments now. Thanks, Anir.
More than 10.
Yeah. Lan says, Tanhoney recommendations. Okay, I don't care.
Shut up.
He nailed you, dude. He fucking got you.
These commentaries are getting more and more openly abusive.
Yeah, we just take abuse for the algorithm at this point. We're like, what are those guys that like, never mind, I lost my thought. Raul Alva said, I'm currently watching JoJo, making my way to part 3 right now, so I'll watch Havoc Moon until I get properly introduced to the series. Unrelated questions, but between part 1 and 2, what do you like most in terms of music, writing, characters, everything? Also, great episodes. Some of these articles were okay. Not bad by any means, but I enjoyed it. I'm sorry for my English mistakes. I'm still practicing the language. Hope I'm not annoying anyone. You're not annoying anyone. In fact, fine. I still think your spelling's better than Dino Tales. Yeah, I like you a lot, Raul. SCP recommendations 5552. Our Stolen Theory, and 783, there was a Crooked Man. Ooh, is that based on the Crooked Man nursery rhyme?
I assume so. I'm going to tell you what, because you're my favourite viewer, next episode we will read 5552.
Wow, epic. But you didn't answer his question. We need to talk about our favorite parts of part 1 and 2.
Okay, so here's the thing. I can take a recommendation or I can answer the question. Which do you want?
Alright, take the recommendation. I'll answer his question. So there's a lot of things I like. I don't want to spend like 10 billion years gushing over them, so I'll just rapid fire. Really love the part 2 opening.
So do I. Actually, I'm also
fucking awesome. I really love Joseph's characterization. It's such a stark contrast from Jonathan, and like
his
the
first
setup
scene
with like
is such a good establishing moment for his character.
I really love it. Yeah, with the fucking Coke bottle. I really enjoyed... I know part 1... Part 1 is probably my least favorite part, and I know a lot of people hate it, but I still really love part 1, and I love Jonathan. And I think the juxtaposition of Jonathan's like gentlemanness really makes Joseph and Jotaro in part 3 hit that much harder as characters, knowing where they come from. Because it's like thinking about like your boomer parents who were like back in my day or whatever. But I also think it helps that part 1's very short. It's only like 9 episodes. I really love the chewiness of JoJo, of course. I love the drip in the later parts more than the early parts. I think the designs are way cooler in like part 4 onward than part 3 previous, except for Whole Horse and Muhammad Abdul. They have really cool designs in part 3. Joseph also and Caesar also kind of have drip, but like all the other characters look kind of dumb, in my opinion. Well, no, Speedwagon has drip, that's right.
Well, Lisa, she has drip.
Yeah, Lisa kind of has drip, but she's not really... Well, no, she's around for a while. I'd have to rewatch part 2. It's funny because I've rewatched it like 6 times, and I still... That's how bad my memory is. I still don't like have a lot of it remembered. But I've watched the first 2 parts of JoJo so many times, it's not even funny. Especially part 1, like when I'm introducing someone to the series. I've probably seen the first 3 episodes of part 1 at least 15 times.
How many times have you seen Jack the Ripper come out that horse?
At least 15. That's how, like, I can almost recount the episodes, like, not word for word, but, like, scene to scene. Even with my memory. That's how much it's burned in there.
For a period, which is horrifying, because that's much longer than part 1 and part 2.
That's true.
Like, there was a period where you could send a screenshot of any, like, background character in Hunter x Hunter to me, I would identify it by episode.
Right. The other cool thing for JoJo's About Me, and what got me into it, was that everything's named after, like, American rock bands, even in the early parts. I don't know. That's just what my friend told me to get me into it, because I really love, like, rock. And I don't know. I just think it's a nice touch, and I love the idea of it. Like, it's so cool to get the shit beat out of you by something called fucking... now I can't think of a good one. Shit. Whatever. You know what I mean. But yeah. Anything else you want to add, Tan?
That's pretty much it. I like those.
Yeah. Here we go. Thoughts, experiments, and other stuff. Says, Chad question is not that very good. What do you think? What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't even know what that sentence means. Anomalous Writer...
Thank you for the comment.
An Anomalous Writer says, it has been a while since we've gotten more than 1 or 2 skips in an ep. Huzzah! Also, Dado is very fine capitalist. P.S. The password, if I remember correctly, is Kernunos. Good job, Anomalous. See, only like 3 people have said the password.
Yeah, I guess they didn't watch the episode. That's kind of fucked me
This
up.
is bullshit, because fucking Banker Paul was all like, we missed the password, and then even he didn't do the password.
Shows that they didn't watch the episode.
Yeah, shaking my head. Thought experiments and other stuff said... Oh, no, we already read one of his. Have you seen the yellow sign says, very nice, Dado is back. Remember, Dado is a word that gives kids cancer. Dado is fine pharmaceutical. Edit, latest Dado article is 6790. I would recommend reading 5999, though, instead. And then, at Oxidge B, our last comment says, yes, Dado returns. Perfect. ETA, congrats, Tan. You have 3 articles in Series 7, which means you are the most prolific author of that series. Recommendation, 5999 or 5004. A lot of people want us to do 5999. What's so special about this? Is that another Dado?
It's not Dado.
Okay.
It's definitely not Dado.
Alright, interesting. Well, we already did a password, right? I already forgot what it was.
It was, I do not recognize the bodies in the water by DJ Katas.
Yes! That's what it is. Which is, alright. Well, thank you guys. Hopefully this episode will get us to 1,000 subs with my master plan.
Better.
I'm so devilish.
If it doesn't, I don't know what I'll fucking do.
My only worry is, see, this isn't gonna come out till Saturday. We're recording on Thursday, so by then there'll probably be a new SCP drama, something again that'll make us not be able to profit. But we'll see.
Again.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. Hopefully we can still bank off the residuals. So thank you for watching, and Cactus, thank you for helping me reach my ideals. And we'll see you all next week.
Thank you. Bye!
Bye!